Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be making a guide for Vespera, the newest module boss in Etheria Restart. This is going to be a low investment guide, as in you don't need dupes for your characters, and the chips that I used are pretty mediocre to most people's standards. Most people that cleared it have better builds than I do, essentially. So I did a 13 run. I won 10 out of 3. This is the first 13 run that I did consecutively because I was trying to find the team that actually worked, and it's all below 1 minute, which is pretty good. I got this piece as well. This is promising. And I'll show the team. This is the team that worked for me the most. I will also explain how the boss mechanics work, because if you understand the boss mechanics, you can probably make a team for yourself. Yeah, instead of just copying one of the top teams. The team I am using is this team. Am I here anywhere? Nope. This is the team I'm using. It's Freya, Juan Lee, what's her name? Infonial, Rosa, and Plume. Now my clear is faster than all of them. I'm not sure why I'm not on the list. But the idea is, let's talk about the boss mechanics first. This boss, let's read her passive. After Vespera's turn, increases Phantasm Ocular's turn meter by 30%. These are the adds, and grants herself 5 stacks of Baleful Plume. 5 stacks of Baleful Plume essentially reduces damage taken by 80%, loses 1 stack after being attacked by an enemy is dispellable. So essentially you want to get rid of these stacks to be able to do any amount of damage at all. And you will notice it once these stacks are gone, you will be doing a shit ton of damage. Grants herself 20 stacks of Baleful Plume at the start of battle, so she will always start with 20 stacks. Vespera and Phantasm Ocular inflict lifelock equal to 50% of damage dealt, 50% of the damage they deal while lock your HP, or max HP. When Vespera is hit by enemy skill attacks 5 times, she will immediately gain a turn and purify all debuffs. So she has 2 stacks. This stack, I don't know why they don't name it, and then her Baleful Plume stacks. You want to be aware of both of them. So what you want to do is you want someone who multi-hits on their single one attack. You want them to multi-hit so that you can get rid of the Baleful Plume without constantly making her take her turns, because you cannot kill her while she has that 50%, the 80% damage reduction active at all times, unless you run one of these teams, the Valerian team. This is what my guildies, a lot of my guildies are running. You can see it on the strategy tab and copy it. It's really slow but consistent. If you want to do that, I think this is the team that most people were doing. Yeah, I see Sturby, Isagi, my guildmate, and yeah, you can just do this team. So like just do a PvP team essentially, right? Everything is on Bloodbath. Most things are on Bloodbath. Yeah. And it should be 100%. I heard that it was 100%, but it takes 4 minutes per run. This reminds me of the early days of the game when I was doing my Aurora, and it would take 4 minutes per run. So this is not something that I want to do. That's why I spend it 2 days, today and yesterday, trying to figure out a team that can actually consistently. It's not 100%, obviously, but it is consistent enough. Now let's show you. I will show a run before I. For people that just want to see the builds, I'll show the builds real quick. I'll talk about the builds more in depth later, right? But for now, let me explain what's going on. Actually, I think it would be better to explain it if I just do a normal run instead of a really fast run.
Every attempt brings new possibilities.
So, actually, let me talk about the builds. Then I'll explain the run. I think it would be easier. You want your Freya to loop the boss. I have her my fastest unit on Codex because you want her to S3 twice. Her S3 is a 4-hit attack, which is really good. And it's on Codex on Insight so that it can land her debuff. It's also on decent crit rate because you want her to activate Rosa's follow-up always. You want Freya and Plume to be at decently high crit rate. It's on Sentinel. This is my fastest chip. You don't need her to be this fast. I will show you why, because she loops the boss and one of the ads. You want her to just loop the boss. That's like the requirement. Looping the ad or lapping the ad is not really needed. Then you want Rosa to be decently fast, 250, 240, because you want her to move before Juan Li. Now, if you don't know, Juan Li with Freya is going to start at 8% turn meter because she has 2 buffs, right? I think that's how it works. She has 2 stacks. I apologize. Someone just came in the room. Anyways, she has 2 stacks of her thing that makes her unable to be CC'd. So she will always start at 8% turn meter. As far as I remember, might be 4%. But because you're running her and Freya together, you want her, the speed difference between her and Rosa to be pretty big. I found that 30 speed difference is good enough. That's what I'm running, around 30 and above. Plume, you want her to be your second fastest because you want her to also lap. No, she's not going to lap the boss, but she's going to move right after the boss moves. That's the idea of having Plume second fastest. And the reason you want Plume to be faster than Infonial is obviously going to be the third fastest. Everything is on Codex because you want Plume to have the immunity from Infonial, because Plume is going to be susceptible to be receiving the most amount of damage because she is Disorder. Pretty sure this boss deals boosted damage to Disorder units. I haven't read that anywhere, but that's what I'm assuming because it's always Plume that's taking a lot of hits. The Plume build is 1 HP, 1 F accuracy, and 1 crit rate. You want her to be decently fast. She's on Butcher. The reason I put her on Butcher is for the Bravura, for the HP bonus. It helps her survive a little bit more. Sentinel doesn't really do anything because you need to be crit. If you have good Gladiator pieces, I think Gladiator is the best for survivability because the lower your HP, the more damage reduction you have. And let me show you the sequence of this team. So Freya's going to move first. She's going to S3. I'll just mantle this. Right, it doesn't matter if she lands her debuff, because you only want her 4 hits. Her debuff is going to help you do decent damage, right, when I play later on, but it's not like a necessity. It's not like if you don't land it, your run is still, chances are you won't fail. If you miss Plume debuffs though, on the other hand, it's pretty rough. Rosa's going to take a turn. She's always going to land her debuff because it's guaranteed. Then Yuanli's gonna take her turn. As you can see, we're stacking a lot of buffs. This is very important because Vespera's S3, her ultimate, actually dispels. I think it dispels 2 buffs, right? Let's see her ult. Oh, where's her ultimate? Oh, okay, so she does 3 hits. Every hit has a chance to dispel 1 buff. The first 2 hits have a 75% chance to steal 10% from the target. For every 1 stack of Baleful Plume, Vespera has steal an additional 1% turn meter from the target. The final hit has a 100% chance to inflict attack down and dispute down. So this is essentially why you want to stack a lot of buffs, so that the immunity doesn't get stripped. A lot of the times it does get stripped, but it still doesn't really matter. As you can see, okay, Mind Rack, that's the stack name. If she gets 5 of these, if you hit her 5 times, she will immediately gain a turn and cleanse all the debuffs. And this is the other stack that you want to get rid of. I have 7 of these and I have 4 of these. So what I'm going to do is Freya's going to S3. That's what auto does. Freya's going to S3. And Rosa's going to follow up. Rosa's really good for this because she gets rid of these stacks really fast. So this is 4 hits, 3 hits from Rosa. It's going to be 7 hits. She's going to have no stacks. And then Juan Li is going to do the follow up and it's going to deal a shit ton of damage. My Juan Li is P1 with mediocre chips, so she is not going to be doing as much damage as most other Juan Li's are doing. But that's the whole idea. You cycle the boss. You lap the boss with Freya, you S3, and I should crit at least once. Now she doesn't have any of the stacks that make her take less damage, and her half of her health is basically gone. Now, as you can see, most of the immunities were stripped, and the ad debuffed Plume. That's not good. That's not good at all. Is there a way I can make Plume slower? Maybe I can work on that. But anyways, let's just do auto. Let's see if I will be able to salvage this run. Because I think sometimes I can still win even when things like this happen. As you can see, Rosa gets rid of her stacks. They do a lot of damage. Yeah, Plume's dead. So let's see if I can beat the boss. Okay, chances are not very high. Let's see. Okay, she doesn't have any of her stacks now. So, yeah, Zhongli should do a lot of damage, but she's gonna take a turn. Zhongli's dead, and the run is over. I basically lost. I think there is better tuning than the tuning that I have. Let's see. Let's see. Let's try and make the tuning better here. Yeah, I think I can make Plume slower. So everything is going as planned. Everything is fine. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because Vespera is always gonna... If she dispels the immunity, then Plume is just fucked anyways. Okay, now my immunities are not dispelled. But Freya got stunned, which doesn't really matter. Freya, you don't really care about Freya. After she has done her both of her S3s. Her S2 is nice, but it's not mandatory. And then she's basically dead from here. Usually people that have stacked Roses and stacked Zhonglis, on the second cycle, Vespera is usually dead, right? Let's do an auto run. Let's just do a complete auto run and show you how this goes, how this works.
This time, will an interesting opponent appear?
Let's see.
This moment is when dreams break.
If you are a new player and you're trying to do Vespera, I would just suggest you don't really worry about it too much for now, and just focus on the other bosses like Doki Doki and Aurora, because these two are still going to be the core bosses for most people. Okay, Freya got debuffed again, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, here most people would have Vespera dead by here, but because my units are not very well built, that's not the case for me. And that's basically how you beat Vespera. I will show you how you can like find other strategies. You can if you don't have all the units in the game, well, chances are if you don't have most units in the game, then you're not going to be able to do Vespera. But you can check this box to show the animuses that you do have, or you can also filter by animus. For example, if you have a P5 Lilim and you want to use her, you can't because Lilim is not a multi-hit animus, sadly. You can only really use multi-hit animuses. Like, he's multi-hit. Well, Kakardi does do multi-hits as well with his passive. She's multi-hit. She's used a lot. She's used in one of the better teams. Okay, the auto battle here is not 89%. I guess it's not consistent then. But yeah, and then the clear times. I saw this run. This is not an auto run, and it is not consistent. This is just for clear times, so don't try and replicate this. Don't think that this is like a proper team that you can use. I'm not going to be anywhere on here. I don't really need to. You just want to be able to clear it sub-minute so that you can do the 15 run. And you're good to go. This is the team that is least investment or most investment friendly, because if you don't have her, I think most people don't have her. Most people have Freyas, most people have Joan Lees, most people have Rosas, Plumes, you know. But most people don't have her Latticed. Most people don't have, I'd say a lot of people don't have Doki Lattice. And it's like, you look at the top clears, it's like everything is P5. This is a P5 check boss. Well, this guy has P2. For 0, I know this guy. P2 here. P0 here. P2. Raise. P5 John Lee. P3. P5. Yeah. I think my team is one of the more free-to-play friendly teams. I didn't come up with the team. I saw others doing it, and it worked the best for me. So just as long as you understand the boss mechanics and what you're doing, this boss should be pretty doable.